I want to ask, what was the either like the first scary movie you saw, or more importantly, what was the first movie that scared you that you can remember? Um, yeah, so not maybe the first scary movie, because but when you're as a kid, you're sneaking, those scary movies and stuff like that. You're trying to. What was the first movie that you can remember that scared you? So Mel, we'll start with you. If you can remember? What do you think?
I kind of have to because, like, for
Go ahead.
me, it wasn't the first movie; it was the first scene, which is the stupid clown in Poltergeist. That scared me. But then, in high school, I never really got scared over things like that. But in high school, I was sitting at the house, and it was on like A&E or something, and it was just the ending of the old school, not like the newer one, the Woman in Black or Lady in Black or whatever. I think Woman in Black is what it is. Not the one with Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, but the older version. And she was just standing on the side of the lake looking, and then a tree came down and hit the boat, and you didn't know what happened. But it was something about this one scene. It terrified me. And here I am in high school, and I just booked it right out of there. And when coming across the street to my parents, who was talking to my neighbors, and I was like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How you doing? How you doing? And they're like, what's wrong? I was like, I just seen a really scary scene on TV. I'm just gonna hang out here. And they were all kind of laughing because they're not used to that with me. Like I said, the only thing that ever scared me was Poltergeist, and but that one right there scared me more than Poltergeist or anything.
Yeah, that one I don't know. I agree with you on Poltergeist, though. That clown was scary. For me, more of the scary movies talking about Poltergeist was when that closet door opened and tried to suck them all in.
Mm.
That I remember that was always scary. And then when the mom was swimming with the skeletons, which became more scary as to me as an adult when I found out that those are real skeletons. That
Yeah,
they did not tell
Yeah.
that the actress they went cheap and got some
that's
real.
fucked up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's like, so I was like, now that's actually scary. To think that a movie studio could do that, but that scene and the tree coming in. But what about you, Tango? What was the first scary movie that you can remember, or the first movie that scared you?
I can't really. I mean, there was that one scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure that scared the crap out of me.
Oh
Is
my
it
God,
Large
Large
Marge?
Marge.
Yeah, it was Large Marge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of like movies, because I can't remember. Does Ernest Scared Stupid count?
Did it?
Oh my
If it
God,
scared you, it
I wish it
counts.
was around. I wish I could find it.
Yeah. I mean, at least like parts of it like scared me. I remember. Um, because like a lot of the like Freddy Krueger stuff, I just remember like even seeing like 5 seconds of anything like that like scared me a lot as a kid.
Hmm,
But yeah, it was probably Ernest Scared Stupid. I think
I can't
was at
remember
least
Ernest.
something that I watched like from at least beginning to end.
Oh, what about you, Soto? What was the first scary movie, or what was the first movie that scared you?
I would have to probably say, I mean, it's boring, but like Nightmare on Elm Street, I did see it. That's like my first memory. And the reason was, I mean, shit, it came out in the mid 80s. I was like 4 or 5 years old when I saw it. It's, by the way, way too early to watch that movie. Um, Watching that movie at 5 or 6 years old is not a vibe. But we would have babysitters, and they were these cute 14-year-old girls. And at the time, I could say that because I was 6 and they were 14. But I had crushes on them. And when they would think I was asleep, they would start watching these horror movies with their friends and shit like that. And I would sneak downstairs and I'd poke my fucking head around and I'd watch them watching Nightmare on Elm Street. And I just thought it was scary as fuck. And it damaged me. And when Johnny Depp got sucked into the bed, I never
Hmm.
trusted what was under the bed anymore. Um,
That was a
yeah, there's a
waterbed,
lot.
wasn't it?
He was like, I think it's a waterbed. He was watching
Yeah,
like TV on his stomach with headphones on, and it was just very uncomfortable. But that, and then when he gushed out blood, it was just ridiculous. So that traumatized me for a few years. I didn't think that I hadn't been scared by movies since then until I saw this movie Fire in the Sky later when I was in
Oh,
around nine
I
or
remember
ten.
that
Fire in
movie.
the Sky
Yeah.
was fucking terrifying.
I remember that movie.
Like I can't even like if it's on now, I'm like I'm not watching this. Like this is ridiculous. Because the only that and Arachnophobia are the only two scary movies that I'm like, nope, I will not watch that. If Arachnophobia is on, I'm like, I'm not watching this. This
I
is
totally
not
forgot about
anything like.
arachnophobia.
I'm not watching this on TV. This will summon a fucking spider on me. Like I'm not gonna watch spider related shit. Because then when I'm distracted, someone's gonna come up on me from the cut. So arachnophobia, no, and also Fire in the Sky. But first one will always be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Dude, I talked to a therapist over arachnophobia,
Oh
and
no,
I've completely,
no, no,
totally
no,
forgot about
hell no,
arachnophobia because I don't.
hell no.
Ugh, yeah, I'm terrified of
That's too
spiders.
real. That's too real. That's too real for
And
me.
the wolf spiders that are in this area,
Oh yeah, we have them in New Hampshire too.
Oh my god, no. Like, and I would go. I remember living down in next to the lake, and we had like the woods behind us and
Oh fuck
woods in
that.
front of us and lake to the. I mean, we literally. I have taken friends down to do some night swimming, and they're like, "This looks like Crystal Lake." That's exactly what it's like. But you would like
Dock
pull back your
spiders.
covers, and there would be a daggling wolf spider the
Yep.
size of your freaking hand stretched
Oh, they're
out in
huge.
your
Oh,
bed.
they're fucking huge.
And like I'm terrified of spiders. Even now, like I can sit here and tell you, there's probably about 80 spiders in my house, and I don't even freaking know about it because I live in the woods. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yep. Not a fan. So that movie sucks ass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I've told this story a few times to Soto every time we talk about sort of movies. And, my dad had HBO when I was growing up, and I saw a lot of movies already that I probably never should have seen. And the first one isn't a movie that scared me, and I'll explain why. Probably because I was 8, maybe 9, and we were watching The Shining. And it wasn't the fact that it didn't scare me. I liked it more as an older teen. I just didn't fucking get it. Like, what was going on? I remember the two creepy girls. Obviously the the bloodbath down the hall, so to speak. And but overall, like I couldn't stay focused on
Iconic.
the movie because a lot of the middle scenes just obviously were more psychological. And when you're 8 or 9, you don't want that shit. So I was just like, I didn't get why it was so popular. I got it more later in life, but then it didn't scare me as a kid. But that's just because I think I just tuned out. But the first movie I kind of vaguely remember scaring me, weirdly enough, again, probably 9, 10, was a movie called, and I don't even know if it's good. It was called The Howling. And we were watching it
Oh,
late night.
a lot of
And
movies in that series.
yeah, there is. And
Yeah.
all I remember is because, I have two sisters. One who's growing up was big into horror movies. Like that was her thing. The other one, for lack of a better term, she was a princess. The one you met, Soto, she was always scared. And we were watching it, and at first
Oh,
it got
she's fucking.
scarier, and she was freaked, and even I was getting to the point of freaked out. Again, mind you, how old we were, and my dad had to turn off more for her sake, but I'm like, I'm kind of glad this happened because I was getting to that point, like, I don't know if I can do this movie anymore because it scared the shit out of me. I don't even remember much. I just remember again, 80s, I mean, I'm sure it's cheesy to see nowadays, but back then as a kid, yeah, that freaked me out. And I was kind of glad. I'm like, yeah, it's okay, Tiff. No, we're not going to watch this. We'll put on something happy inside. I'm like, yeah, that was getting to me too. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I've saw way too many movies young that I shouldn't have, and maybe like Soto jokes about, maybe that's why we're messed up a little bit. But,
Oh, 100%.
but
That's why we're here.